Hey everybody, and welcome back to Silent Hill 2. Last time, we entered the Historical Society building on the surface, and then discovered an endless staircase down underneath Toluca Lake, where we have gone down like 50,000 holes through a prison, and now we're here in the middle of this random unlabeled labyrinth that looks like a series of apartment buildings that aren't connected to anything at all. They actually vaguely resemble the backrooms now that I think of it. This time, we're gonna keep descending further into this freaking madness. Oh yeah, we also, finally met up with Maria again, inside a cell down here, even though we thought she was dead. And she continued to be very, very confusing, answering basically none of our questions. Curious. Alright. Start by climbing down the ladder into more sewer. Okay, we got enemies. Oh, they were right in front of us, though, walking away for some reason. Pew, pew, pew! Alright. If I can talk about that for a second, the backrooms. Am I the only one that finds it kind of hard to take the backrooms seriously? I mean, I do think liminal spaces are cool on the whole. I don't know what this ladder's for. I don't know if we should... Is that, like, the way we have to go, or is it... I'll go down this way first. We'll see the whole sewer level first. Okay, there's 3 ladders to go. I guess we'll start with this one then. But yeah, I think it's just because the original post didn't feel like it was trying to be serious. It felt more like a little joke that people turned into a serious, scary thing. And so, you know, like the way that it says, oh, if you no-clip out of reality, you'll end up in the backrooms. Just something about that wording makes it sound a lot less serious than it's trying to be. Oh, God. Like, wouldn't it be better to say, if you fall out of reality or something? Now that would definitely be scarier, but like saying no clipped out of reality just, I think, gives the wrong impression. So for a while, like when the backrooms became this huge thing and there were all sorts of games on it, I found it kind of hard to take seriously because of that, knowing its origins. Or at least once I found its origins. I don't think I knew of its origins at first. I think actually my first exposure to the backrooms, I watched a Let's Play of a horror game that took place in them, one of many, and I actually did find them decently creepy. But then, you know, once I found the original origins, it kind of became harder and harder to take seriously. But that said, overall, I do find liminal spaces very interesting and cool, just like I do in this game. So, here we go. I think it's something about the backrooms that is weirder to me than the others. Stuff like the pool rooms, I think that's cool. And similar things to it, like the one, like, brutalist looking hotel. That one hotel that appears to have that appeared in the picture to have a ceiling over it when it was actually just thick cloud cover. That's cool. But the back rooms, I don't know. There's something about them that just doesn't scare me the same way it does for others, but that's just me. Alright, there is absolutely nothing over there. Very cool. This place makes a lot of sense. Okay, we have dudes back to life again. Crawling along the floor, making weird noises. I think actually in the Silent Hill 2 HD collection version that was released for the PS4, I want to say? I think it was for the PS4. I'm not sure. Or PS3, Xbox 360, something like that. There was a bug where those enemies would play the totally wrong footstep sounds, and I think they played the same sounds that they play when they're crawling around on the floor. So, yeah, obviously very wrong. I should check my shotgun ammo. It's been a decent while since I played this game, like, over a week. Sorry about that. Sorry about the delay in uploads, in case you're enjoying the series and wanted to see more of it. For some reason, it just took me a long time to get around to it. I guess because I was also starting up Fallout New Vegas and getting really into that game, and, you know. When my interest in specific games is constantly shifting, it's kind of hard to get myself to play some games sometimes. That's just how I work. It's the weird way that I work. Alright, next. Kick you down. Oh man, I am doing a great job of commentating this video. Tremendous. Can barely think of the right words to say. When I do, I can barely say them the first time. I meant to say first try there, and I said first time instead. That's how fucking bad I am. Alright, anyway. I just wanted to see, is that ladder the only one that exists? Okay, it looks like this is where we entered, and... Wait, what? Okay. Maybe not. Okay. I'm confused. I think this is a way out. Is it? No, this is the same... Yeah, this is the same hallway we were just in. Never mind. So there's some other way out through here that I can't find, and now I think I just respawned those enemies. Let's go up. Look for any other paths. Okay, so yeah, that's in the center of the room. There's probably something at the edge of the room we have to find. I think I may have accidentally wandered into it. Okay, no. It's just on the opposite side. Here we are. Ah, hello. Nice to meet you. My name's James. Have you seen my wife? Have you seen my wife down here in this labyrinth? We sure are going to great lengths trying to find our wife, who we know full well is dead. What can I say? The man misses her. Misses her dearly. Okay, Poof! Alright. It looks like I hit you in the butt. I did not intend that. That is just simply where the shells went. We have a chain link fence floor here, which makes me believe one of those enemies is underneath it, but there's nothing there, so... I think it's all fine. Okay, random dead end over here. Gotta love it. Okay, I've got plenty of shotgun shells. What I don't have plenty of is hunting rifle ammo, but... You know, we'll obviously save that for the larger encounters. Oh, that's the sewer area I think we were just going through. That's kind of cool. I wish the camera would have gone up through the chain link floor to show us that while we were down in the sewers. That would have been cool. I just killed this enemy off screen. Oh, it didn't kill them, actually. Or it didn't knock them down. That's what I mean. There's you. And this other person is about to go as well, wherever they might be. Poof! Poof! Interesting way to describe a shotgun sound there. Poof! You know, shotguns. They make those noises. Alright. Have a drink. Let's carry on, my wayward son. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. Carry on, my wayward son. I guess your son is gone, which means they're wayward, and you're telling them to carry on. That makes sense, actually. Now that I've thought about it for more than 2 seconds, I found the answer. It's almost like a lot of problems in life could be solved by thinking for 2 seconds about them. Wait, does the blood, like, spread around in the water? No, it disappears when you turn away. Okay, understood. The water cleaned it, probably. That's what I'll go with. These walls, is this dirt? Or something else entirely? Because, like, you know, you'd think it's dirt on first glance, but it looks kind of like a rough patch of skin. And knowing Silent Hill and its aesthetics, I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of is. Hello. Hold on, I gotta pick up these bullets first. Ah, you got me with your vomit! How dare you! I remember there was one time in 2nd grade, this is minor gross warning here for the next couple things, but you're watching a Let's Play of Silent Hill 2, so I think you should be desensitized to that by now at this point in the game. Oh, you know. Anyway, oh, I should heal too. There was this kid, is a classmate I had in 2nd grade who I think had a day where he just, like, threw up twice. I never actually saw him do it, but he was, like, standing off to the side saying, like, "I'm sorry, folks," kind of mimicking our teacher in that way. She would call us folks all the time. And, you know, he seemed very happy, but unbeknownst to me, the 2 huge piles of vomit that my class passed were made by him. So... I have a lot of respect for that kid. For the age he was, he took vomiting up, like, twice in a row surprisingly well. In other news, Pyramid Head is down here with us. So let's run past. Okay, hello. There was a ladder right at the beginning, but I think I'm going to make my way back to the start before I continue this way, because I think there's another exit here. Yeah, there is. These endless sewer areas, they're so confusing, so disorienting. At this point, I don't even know which way is north, because I haven't bothered to check. Okay, now Pyramid Head is walking away, not knowing where we are. That is pretty funny. Now, of course, if you were to see us, he would stab us for a lot of damage, so we gotta be careful. He doesn't notice our flashlight at all. Oh, he's going down to the other... okay, there we go. I think I could probably just run past him, honestly. He's not that threatening down here, especially when you have... Yeah, you have all that room to get around him. He's not the most threatening creature in this game, but... You know... He's still unkillable, and that amounts to something. Okay, actually, that's the way we have to go. I'd rather not go that way yet. I didn't realize just how easily you could dodge his stabs. You just have to kind of, like, run up to him and then dart to the side real quick. Alright, let's go this other way first. I do like that he's patrolling down here, though. I kind of wish he was more of a decent threat at this point, because encountering him in spaces like this make him feel a lot less scary. I'm hearing enemies, so this must be the same map as one of the earlier hallways we went through, but in this case, we're just in a dead end with some handgun bullets. Guess I'll switch back to the handgun, give it some love. Oh my god, we almost have 200 handgun bullets in reserve. I think I'll talk more about why that is fairly soon, later this video, but, or why it is that you get so many supplies in Silent Hill, compared to what you would expect from a game of this style if you've played Resident Evil. Okay, I don't know where Pyramid Head is right now, but either way, he's not... Where is he? Okay, I think he's, like, just off screen here to the right. Well, go the other way. Haha, dodged. Screw you, Pyramid Head. You have no control over me. Okay, back up here, let us actually read this first and then save the game so that we have this added to our memos forever, no matter what happens. There's a newspaper on the ground. It's stained with something that looks like blood and is partially illegible. I understand that feeling of needing to say, like, something that looks like blood, because after everything you've seen, might not be blood, you never know. Could be wine. The body of a man later identified as Thomas Oro something Lumberjack, age 39, I guess Lumberjack is his job title, there's a comma we can't see, was discovered in something lying face down. The probable cause of death was multiple stab wounds to the front of the neck and the left side of the torso by a sharp-edged weapon. The estimated time of death was somewhere between 11 p.m. and 12:30 midnight. Due to signs of struggle in the room and lack of a murder weapon, police are considering this a homicide and have opened a murder investigation. Furthermore, given the fact that the cash in the room was untouched and Mr. Oro, someone, had a history of drunkenness and violence, the police suspect that the motive was not robbery, was of crime of passion, it is believed to say. It does tend to be what most murders are, at least from what I hear, that, like, if someone scary breaks into your house, there's a good chance it's someone you know. But there's also a good chance it's a burglar. Either way, though, if it's a burglar, they probably won't want to ever see you, and they'll probably just run away at the first sight of you. Most of the time. Not always, but still. Alright, let's go through this door. Keep going. Another newspaper. Newspapers are scattered all over the walls and floor. It seems to be nothing of interest. But this one has today's date. That's kind of strange. So does that one, apparently.
Daddy, please don't!
And now we have a new enemy. This thing is known as an abstract daddy. And if you look closely, it resembles two figures lying on a bed with one on top of the other. You can probably guess what this is all about. Okay, gotta struggle away. Real quick. Despite that, this is obviously tormenting Angela, who's in the room with us, but we can still see it as well. And that's a little point of confusion that will become more obvious as we go. Okay, I'm gonna use the hunting rifle there because this is kind of a boss enemy. Okay, I'm gonna shake it off. I see a red border on the bottom of my screen. We're gonna heal up because that is doing a lot of damage. So let's use our first ampoule. That'll heal us all the way back to full, I think, no matter how low in health we are. Yeah, this thing is kicking it down, but it is very slow. It has a very slow recoil animation between each shot. So just run to the other side. Hopefully get another stagger on it. There we go. Now we should have time to run to the other side of the room. In the remake, this fight is a lot more extravagant from what I hear. It's a much larger section, and the Abstract Daddy is a much more potent threat. Here is just this little boss fight. And that's about it. Oh god. Yet another example of the remake adding a bunch of bloat to things that didn't really need it. Okay, I'm low on health again. Let's get to the other side. First aid kit. Oh no, I didn't reload. Okay, that's fine. That worked. Oh my god, this thing is surprisingly hard. I think I need something faster. Let's switch to shotgun. There we go.
Are you okay? Angela, relax.
Don't order me around!
I'm not trying to order you.
So what do you want then? Oh, I see. You're trying to be nice to me, right? I know what you're up to. It's always the same. You're only after one thing.
No, that's not true at all.
You don't have to lie. Go ahead and say it. Or you could just force me. Beat me up like you always did. You only care about yourself anyway. You disgusting pig.
Angela.
Don't touch me! You make me sick. You said your wife Mary was dead, right?
Yes. She was ill.
Liar! I know about you. You didn't want her around anymore. You probably found someone else.
That's ridiculous. I never...
This room is creepy. Not only the squishy floors, but the weird pistons in the walls. Nothing you can inspect in here. Not even the TV in the corner. So, what we saw there was Angela being attacked by some monstrous manifestation of her father. Which means that perhaps her being inside of Silent Hill had more meaning than we think. Door looks completely different on the other side. We keep going. Got yet another empty stretch of hallway. In here, another room lined with chain link fences. And a bunch of what appear to be desecrated mannequins in the middle. Let's read about them. I think they have notes on their faces. His face is covered with a piece of paper. Thank you. Description. There's something written on it. This man was hanged for the crime of kidnapping. Justice and revenge have been served. That never sounds as good to me as hung, but apparently it's grammatically correct. I hate that. I hate English. This man was hanged for the crime of counterfeiting. Justice and revenge have been served. This man, we can read it. Keyboard controls aren't always the best things, but it's fine. Crime of murder. Can at least read them at all. It's better than not being able to. This man for swindling. This man for arson. This man for thievery. Okay, so let me just kind of remind myself. Kidnapping. Counterfeiting. You were murder, swindling, arson, thievery. Let me look up what swindling means real quick, because I actually did have to look it up for my first playthrough, and I don't remember what it means. So, one second. Swindling meaning. Use deception to deprive someone of money or possessions. So you trick someone out of money. Alright, cool. I don't know if that's quite on the same levels like murder or arson, but it's probably still a crime. Still, though, they were all hanged, whatever, for the same thing, sorry, not for the same thing, but they were all given the same punishment for all kinds of different things. And here, a bunch of empty nooses in a very similar looking room. Before I continue looking in that room, we can go on ahead to see a large metal cage in the way. And this. Can't turn the handle unless I remove the handcuffs. So we've got little bits of the prison coming back into this labyrinth section. Okay. Now we can go into this room. Read the sign on the wall. Dead men swinging in a tree. How many dead men do you see? Tongue turned blue and face gone gray. Watch them as they twist and sway. The first one killed the butcher man, then cooked him in the frying pan, served him to his hungry guests, and gave them seconds on request. The next one, with his smile and sweets, stole poor children off the streets. To men who dressed unsavory, he sold them into slavery. Breaking into a home at night, the thief he had a nasty fright. Filled his foolish head with ale, woke in the morn in the county jail. The artist with his daunting skill tried his hand at painting bills, but caught in rain he was undone, when the ink he'd used did start to run. With promises of great return, taking gold he did not earn, bundled it up out of sight, quietly slipped off into night. 3 houses into ashes burned, the sheriff with no place to turn, did spy a stranger to his town, locked him up and beat him down. Dead men swinging in a tree. How many dead men do you see? 6 feet long and 6 men wide. Round their necks the noose be tied. The fact that sounds like a nursery rhyme is incredibly disturbing. How about this? Only the sinless one can help you here. Mistakenly pull on a criminal's rope and your reward will be returned to you in a shape most wondrously strange. So this here is a puzzle. We have to pull each of these in the order indicated by this rhyme. So the first one, we need to pull the one who was hung for murder. And so you might have to go back to the other room, read those notes again. I don't know if your progress on pulling stuff is reset. Anyway, it's murder, kidnapping, and I think I remember where those are. Then thievery. Then counterfeit? Because counterfeit is like fake money. It's like fraud, something like that. This, I don't know what this could be other than swindling. Arson, and that's it. So, you're first. And I believe if your riddle difficulty is set to hard, the rhyme is changed to be even harder to figure out. You do have to watch that cutscene for each and every one. Hope you enjoy. No, I'm not going to skip past it. I'm presenting the game as intended. Alright? I wonder if pulling on this is like pulling them up in the other room. I don't think it actually is, but might be the idea. What's next again? Thievery, right. And that is this last one, I want to say. I hope this is the right... Yes, okay. I was gonna say, I hope I chose the right rope. Next one I want to say is counterfeiting. Read it again, just to be sure. I think it is, you know, murder, kidnapping, thievery, counterfeit, swindling, arson. And I want to say counterfeiting was right here. Right here. Said that very oddly. Swindling was down here, and arson is the only one we haven't pulled yet. We seem to be pulling on something heavy with all those freaking creaks in the rope. Alright, after this, gotta step out in the hallway to see if we got it right. No indication just yet. Aha, okay. If you get the order wrong, there will be 3 lying figures out in the hallway, and you have to fight them off. But since there are none, I believe I got it right. And if you return to the other room, one of the people will be gone. The one for arson is gone. And I wonder if that means anything. Do these messages change? Seems like I straight up can't. Nope, okay. They do not change, but the man for hung for arson is gone. Hanged, whatever. Key of the persecuted. And there's also a note down that I just realized I lost some health. How about I heal? Key left by prisoner who was wrongly executed. It looks like 2 keys in the same keychain. Interesting. This is probably for the pair of handcuffs. Gonna see something. Okay, no, it still says stuff. Cool. Not like it would change at all, right? The paper that was covering the corpse's face is lying here. Oh, okay, I thought it was a new note. But no, you just get the key and move on. Makes enough sense. So, let us use it. Hold on, I'm not facing it correctly. Now I should be. Boom. I guess that's why it has 2 keys, because there's 2 locks in the handcuffs. Deeper down we go, into another sewer section. Pyramid Head? Maybe? Oh. This is the first time we've seen that type of door here. This door looks a little more normal than the others.
Maria? Maria? Maria, no! What happened to you? Why? Why?
Once may be a coincidence, but twice feels like a pattern. I don't know if that's how the saying goes. I tried. Now this door's opened. At this point, things are starting to become less, or feel at least, less and less real as time goes. How can it be that Maria dies in front of James twice now? In 2 separate instances? First aid kit, hello. And similarly, why on earth is there a cemetery in this random labyrinth of building hallways? Bullets. I think I saw a red square on one of the graves, but let's start by reading all the graves in here. Because they have some interesting info. An epitaph is inscribed here. This felon drank 1 last bottle of ale before he was executed and laid here to his eternal rest. That was probably a prisoner. That, I don't think, is a grave at all. Name on the tombstone is too scratched up to read. More shells. More shells. Getting back all the ones we spent on earlier fights. There's a name inscribed on the tombstone. Miriam K. Traitor. Name of the tombstone's too scratched up. Name inscribed on the tombstone, Walter Sullivan. This was the guy mentioned in a note all the way back at the apartments. He murdered 2 children in the town of Silent Hill. That name's too scratched up. Then over here are 3 remaining gravestones that all have open graves in front of them. Or, well, kind of open. One of them's open, but the other 2 are not. Let's read the names. James Sunderland. Angela Orozco. Eddie Dombrowski. We get to learn those other 2 people's last names, and yeah. These other names on the graves here, these were all considered bad people. That person drank before he was executed, probably a prisoner. This person murdered people. This person was a traitor, and we're being included with them. Not only James, but Angela and Eddie as well. And if you remember, the newspaper we read earlier, blood-soaked newspaper. That last name looks familiar now, doesn't it? It's believed that Angela killed her father after going through all the abuse that he did. And this might be why that monstrous manifestation of her father was attacking her. It goes a little bit beyond that, but again, I'll discuss this more later. Very soon, actually. Not just later. Nothing left to do but jump into our own grave. Oh, no animation that time. A blank wall with just 2 buttons, okay. And a head. Yet another lengthy staircase. Okay, it's not actually as lengthy, never mind. A shorter lengthy staircase. Ooh, there's dust in the air. Looks kind of like the fog out in the town. Always like this remind me so much of modern horror games, and now I know where all those modern horror games got their influence.
Eddie? What are you doing? What does it look like? He always busted my balls. You fat, disgusting piece of shit. You make me sick! Fat ass, you're nothing but a waste of skin! You're so ugly, even your mama don't love you! Well, maybe he was right. Maybe I am nothing but a fat, disgusting piece of shit. But you know what? It doesn't matter if you're smart, dumb, ugly, pretty. It's all the same once you're dead! And the corpse can't laugh. From now on, if anyone makes fun of me, I'll kill him! Just like that. Eddie, have you gone nuts? I knew it. You too. You're just like him, James. Hey, I didn't mean anything. Don't bother. I understand. You've been laughing at me all along, haven't you? Ever since we first met. I'll kill you, James!
James, you have to level up speech first before you go for speech checks like that. Now we have to fight Eddie. Indeed, with our guns. I mean, he's shooting us with a gun, it's only fair. Oh my god, yeah, his shots are really hard to avoid. They don't do a terribly high amount of damage, as much as you would expect from a gun anyway. And it is very awkward to dodge because shooting him causes you to be stunned for a second. After hitting him enough, he will flee into the other room, which gives you some time to pick up the ammo around here, reload your guns, maybe heal in case you didn't before the fight. Can't inspect anything in the room, can we? Alright, let's reload. Let's have some drinks. I can't... This room is so green, I actually can't tell if I'm full on health or not. I think I am, yeah. It's not letting me drink. Okay.
Do you know what it does to you, James? When you're hated, picked on, spit on, just because of the way you look, after you've been laughed at your whole friggin' life. That's why I ran away after I killed the dog. Ran away like a scared little girl. Yeah, I killed that dog. It was fun. It tried to chew its own guts out. Finally died all curled up in a ball. Then he came after me. I shot him too, right in the leg. He cried more than the dog. He's gonna have a hard time playing football on what's left of that knee.
You think it's okay to kill people? You need help, Eddie.
Don't get all holy on me, James. This town called you too. You and me are the same. We're not like other people. Don't you know that? Let's party!
You're right, we are not like other people, because who else has a gunfight in the middle of a meat locker? Or in his case, a brawl. He's trying to punch me now. Okay, I think you can kind of use these things of meat for protection. Though it's not very easy to do because of the game's controls. Okay. Alright, cool. Got it. Okay, he shot me, and now I'm low on health, and I need to heal. Oh my god. He was raising the gun up again. There we go. Take the next hit. Probably could have died there, honestly. Okay. Let me get my hunting rifle out and use that. Oh, I need heals. Oh my god. This guy does a lot of damage. But that makes sense. Let's use another one. May as well. This is exactly the type of situation that calls for them. Ironic how James says, you think it's okay to kill people to Eddie when we're trying to kill Eddie right afterwards. Okay. Good things James auto-locks onto enemies with his gun when he raises it up. Okay, actually, Eddie might be on low health now because now he's trying to hide behind all the meat. I think he does this as he gets lower on health, so... Chase after him. Get the shotgun out instead. I like using it a lot more. Get back here.
Eddie? Eddie? I killed a human being. A human being. Mary. Did you really die 3 years ago?
With that question lingering, let me reload the gun. Heal up. And let me check this letter. There's nothing written on the stationery. The letter goes blank after killing Eddie. What exactly this means, I can't say for certain, but the way I interpret it is that now we're so deep into Silent Hill, it becomes increasingly obvious to James that the letter was not real. And it isn't just the letter either. A lot of this stuff is not real. Killing Eddie kinda was, but I'll get more into this very soon. I do also kind of find it funny, you know, not to, like, downplay his death and all that, but in the room where, in the area where Eddie is lamenting over being bullied and people calling him a pig, it takes place in a meat locker with other similarly gluttonous-looking things of meat. I think the town of Silent Hill is trying to insult Eddie here. That aside, we exit through the door, we find ourselves on the surface again, inexplicably. Even after going down all that way. Check the map. We're at the boat launch. That whole adventure in that underground nightmare to cross that tiny distance. Okay, no items over here. What does that say? Warning, keep off. Okay, doesn't say anything special. Nothing you wouldn't expect from a sign in a public place. The shipping dock. There's I think a dead-looking branch thing? Oh, wait. Warning, persons procuring or something escape of prisoners? Is that what that says? Are subject to prosecution, probably. Concealing escape of prisoners are subject to prosecution. Okay. I've never actually noticed that sign before, but that dead branch, I want to say you could see that from another part of Silent Hill, or not, because Rosewater Park is very far away, and that's the closest view of the lake we got up until this point, so yeah, I guess not. Alright, so let me give you my thoughts on everything that's happening as we head out to this dock, we enter this boat, and we start to make our way across Toluca Lake. Just to remind you, we're trying to get to the hotel, which is across the lake. Can't take the road there, so this boat is the next best thing. There's not much special that happens in this section. All you have to do is use the very slow turning controls to find the sparkly light that we saw before. I think you want to turn this way, and then you just go towards it. And that's really it. It's a very slow section, but I think that's okay. It gives you a lot of time to think and ponder on everything that's happened so far, which is why I think it's the perfect time to explain everything. The town of Silent Hill is a real place in this universe, but everything that's happening to us inside of it is not real. Mostly. There are exceptions. The other people we have met, Laura, Eddie, and also, what's the last person? Angela. I actually said Laura before Angela. Didn't really intend that. I believe those three people are real people. Angela and Eddie are here in Silent Hill for their own reasons, and they are also being tormented by monsters same as us. It's just that all three of us have our own monsters tormenting us. Again, mostly. There's some confusion in there. We don't know why exactly we're here yet, but clearly it's for a similar reason to the other two. Which might not be what James wants to think right now, but I mean, it's kind of staring us in the face, especially after what Eddie said right before that second phase of his boss fight. What I think happened when we encountered Angela and Eddie just then, I think all three of us have our own otherworld experience within the town of Silent Hill. For us, it was the hospital as well as the prison. And for them, it was something else. I think for Eddie, it was that meat locker room. The town kind of calling him a pig. I was kind of joking about that, but that may literally be what's happening there. And same with Angela down in the labyrinth. Her otherworld briefly overlapped with us, and so we were able to encounter them in those spaces. I think the one person we've met who isn't real is Maria. And I think the comment Angela made to James kind of helps to signify that. But before I continue on with this, we have arrived at the dock, so I'll let this scene play. This place hasn't changed at all in 3 years. Well, yeah, 3 years is not a long time. The place probably wouldn't change in 3 years, just saying. Anyway. Angela's last comment to us was that we probably didn't care about Mary and we probably found someone else. And I think the town is trying to give James that someone else in the form of Maria. It's trying to distract him from his goal. Now, why would it? Not really sure. We'll have to find out the answer to that over time. But either way, just the way that Maria died, then was alive again in a random prison cell, then died again in that same prison cell, that's just too weird. And the way she was also acting like Mary in that cutscene, you know, I personally don't think, at least she might be a real physical entity, but I think she was a creation of the town of Silent Hill, which is currently trying to remind James of his past trauma. And that's what it's also doing to the other two people, Eddie and Angela. I thought I had more thoughts about this, but at the moment I'm drawing a blank because I'm a great commentator. Why is this? It looks like a set of monkey bars that you climb over, but I think it's just supposed to be like a decorative entrance to this side park here. Alright, either way, you get my point. I don't think Maria is real. And I do not think it is good for James to get too attached to her. And again, this will be expanded upon later. So we had a fountain over there, fountain in the shape of a bird. This one, is that a bird? Are we sure that's a bird? Well, in other news, there is this very easily missable item on here. The Little Mermaid music box. Okay. Found at the garden fountain. Figure from the fairy tale, The Little Mermaid attached. Man, when Disney hears about this, they're gonna have some stuff to say to the freaking developers. Okay, I want to make it clear that... Is that actually a bird? Because it looks like a fish in that camera angle. Alright, well, whatever. Step up to the door. So overall, in conclusion of this whole thing, the monsters, the rundown buildings, the nonsensical crap we've been seeing in Silent Hill, none of this is real. It is a figment of James's imagination. And that's where I'm going to end that for now. However, the other people we have met, aside from Maria, are real, from what I understand. Another hint towards Maria not being real is that she just chose to stay outside of the bowling alley when we went in because there were other people in there. And she thought it might be weird if James was talking to an invisible person. So. We made it to the Lakeview Hotel. As usual, we have a map immediately to the left. Waiting for you. What's this? Room 312. That's the room Mary and I stayed in. Mary, are you there? Or maybe... I got a hotel map for guests. Yeah, I don't think hotel maps have a message from Mary written on them normally, so that's even further evidence towards this being a figment of James's imagination. Reload the gun. Step forward. I'm gonna get a little bit into this place, but then we will end the video fairly soon, because I am at 50 minutes right now. Actually, let's not go in here just yet. I haven't checked out the whole of this first room yet. You understand, right? I have to be completionist about it. I have to check every last little corner. Looks like the lock is broken. Toluca? Open, close. Okay, so that's an advertisement for some kind of restaurant. Probably the breakfast bar here? Breakfast bar. That's usually what they're called. In Wisconsin, probably. Oh, hi! Okay, we have a return of mannequin legs. Haven't seen you in a while. Pow. Oh no, oh no, oh no, okay. So yes, as I just said, these monsters we are fighting are reflections of James's trauma. Trauma from what, I wonder? Hopefully we'll find out. Hopefully this won't be one of those lame modern psychological horror games that refuse to explain anything because it's scarier that way, right? Sorry, I have a pet peeve with that kind of storytelling where just like nothing is explained because it's so much scarier that way. But to me, a laundry cart, nothing useful inside. Yeah, we don't need clean clothes just yet. To me, it just kind of makes the story boring, but that's just me. Cardboard box, there's nothing inside. You know, it's boring because, like, I have to really dig into it or, like, watch theory videos to really understand what's going on because, you know, I'm not very smart. I can't really grasp abstract ideas, and that makes certain psychological horror storytelling methods hard for me to follow. And so, like, if I don't look up what the story is, then I basically don't understand anything, and I don't really get a fulfilling experience from the game, and that's my usual problem with psychological horror games, especially modern ones. Surprisingly, though, this one is not that way. I found everything was explained relatively clearly, so... Once again, these doors are also locked. A painting is hanging here. There's nothing unusual about it. Baller! Why this way? Can that just show restrooms? The restroom, yes, you know, the one restroom. Not like there's two over there or anything. Base here, not something you can use right now. Maybe later, though? You did say can't use it right now. Barrel. The door's locked. We will be opening it later, though. What are you? This is an elevator. Got a can of thinner. Okay. Neat. Can't interact with this elevator. It is stuck on the bottom floor. I don't know whether to call this the basement or the ground floor. It's America, so it's the basement. Just, you know, in other countries, it's probably called ground floor. Or no, is it like... No, the first floor is called ground floor in other countries. I had that mixed up. Sorry. Alright, these doors with the fancy knobs. I wonder how much this hotel costs. Probably like $300 for one person a night. Hotels do tend to be pretty expensive, but it makes sense. They're providing a lot of things for you and providing you a place to stay for the night, so, you know. They charge appropriately. Can't leave this hotel just yet. Especially not without saving. Yes, that is the file I want. Hotel lobby. Now this. There's a rectangular indentation. There's a plate in front of the indentation. Something is engraved on it. Seat of the princess who woke from death. Play the music box. That's what this is. A music box hanging out in the middle of the hotel. This doesn't sound quite right. Yeah, it doesn't sound like any music box melodies I've heard of. Is the music box broken? Or maybe... it's fixed. I don't know. Seat of the princess who fled at midnight. And finally... Seat of the princess who spoke no words. Alright. Well, I think this one, who awoke from death. It's probably this? This is where the Little Mermaid music box should go. Put down the Little Mermaid music box. Let's play it again. Magically added some notes to it, so we know that that's the right spot. We made progress there. What am I looking at? What am I looking at? James is looking at something. Item this way, maybe? Not really sure. Oh yeah, there is actually something on this counter here, so maybe this is it. Mr. James Sunderland. The video you forgot here is being kept in the office on the first floor. There's a bell here. Even if I ring it, I don't think anyone will come. If you build it, he will come. If you build it, he will come. I did actually see that movie. I remember it as being one of those... It's one of those old movies everyone goes crazy about and references all the time, and yet, you know, when I watch it, I'm like, this isn't that impressive to me, but... you know. I've watched it enough. I must have found something entertaining about it. Key to the room 312. The key to the room where Mary and I stayed. So once we get up there, we will be able to go inside, but we actually have to get up there first, and that'll be hard to do. Nothing in here that looks useful. Let's see. Check our map. Alright. Reception. I might check second floor real quick. See what little we can do up here, and then we will, probably end the video. Okay, so we can go this way. There's a bell here, yep. No one will come. Because no one likes you, James. Staff only. Well, I'm going in, so too bad. I am staff. I declare myself as staff for the purposes of this game. Oh, got a bunch of coat hangers. Ammo. Take that. I do really like how James turns his head toward his nearest item. That is such a great solution to make it easier to find items with the fixed camera angles and whatnot. Suitcase is locked. Okay, then. Need to find a key for that. Person up there on the wall. Lock is broken. Okay. This is a little reading room. I don't think I've ever heard of hotels having these, but maybe I just don't look around at hotels enough. Entirely possible. Believe in this room somewhere is the final New Game Plus exclusive item I will be avoiding. Health drink. There's a book open on top of the desk. It looks like a medical book. I've already read enough medical books. None of them ever did any good. Wonder why he has that little comment. Okay. Maybe the item appears later, but yes, I think this room is where the final of the 4 special items are. 4 special New Game Plus items are, whose importance will be clear later. I've been saying that so much, but it's true. Alright, I think before we continue on any further, let's head back to the lobby, let's save the game, let's quit for now. And then, one second, I'm gonna wait until I've saved, so that the outro text can appear. Bam! Alright. Next time on Silent Hill 2, we shall explore the hotel, find our way up to room 312, and reunite with Mary, with like 17 question marks attached to that, and a couple exclamation marks as well. Thank you all for watching, if you did, and as always, I will see you all in the future.